Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So the $360 per month increase for certain beneficiaries of Social Security, for some it's going to be even more than $360 up to $500 plus, some even $1,000 or more per month. That is going to be starting very soon, so we're going to be covering that in today's video. Plus, Marjorie Taylor Greene absolutely went off on the Commissioner of Social Security. We are going to be playing that clip as well. But before we go ahead and dive into it for today, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just receive the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so as I mentioned just a moment ago, very soon, certain beneficiaries of Social Security are going to be receiving an increase of anywhere between $360 to $700 on average. Some folks even more than that. That's in part because Congress passed a bill called the Social Security Fairness Act, which Joe Biden recently signed into law. And because of that, it repealed the windfall elimination provision as well as the government pension offset. So if you are receiving a pension, but you're also eligible for Social Security benefits, just because you're also receiving a pension, you are penalized where your benefits are reduced to lower than what they should be simply because you're also receiving the pension. So as we can see here, retirees to receive average $360 more per month after Biden signs AFGE-backed Social Security bill. So President Joe Biden on January 5th signed into law an AFGE-backed bill eliminating two controversial rules that have caused public servants to lose 2/3 or even the entire amount of their Social Security benefits. The Social Security Fairness Act, H.R. 82, repealed the windfall elimination provision, or WEP, and the government pension offset, or GPO, that have been in place for decades. He said, quote, "The bill I'm signing today is about a simple proposition. Americans who have worked hard all their lives to earn an honest living should be able to retire with economic security and dignity. The law that existed denied millions of Americans access to the full Social Security benefits they earned by thousands of dollars a year," said Joe Biden. More than 2 million retired public employees, spouses, and survivors affected by the WEP and GPO should receive an average monthly increase of $360. They will also receive a lump sum payment of thousands of dollars to make up for what they should have received last year. So as far as those retroactive payments, they are going to be dating back to January of 2024. Whenever those go out, it might be the same time as you receive the increase. So that might be like March, might even be April, May, June, or July, depending how long the Social Security Administration is able to do all those calculations to figure out for each American that is eligible for this increase, how much their benefit increase is going to be by, and also how much they should have received last year. And of course, they're also going to have that factored into their cost of living adjustment. So their cost of living adjustment is actually going to be higher because what they should have received last year would actually result in a higher cost of living adjustment than what they actually received. So according to FedWeek, President Biden has signed into law the long-in-process repeal of the Social Security government pension offset and the windfall elimination provision, requiring the SSA to recalculate benefits of those affected by those reductions and starting the clock towards retroactive payments for them dating back to January 2024. The new law requires the recalculation of Social Security benefits to those affected with benefits paid after calendar year 2023. That means retroactive payments have now begun to accrue beginning with January 2024 Social Security payments, in which will accumulate until an individual's benefit has been recalculated. At that point, presumably ongoing benefits will be paid at the higher rates and retroactive payments already be paid, most likely as lump sums. Congressional Budget Office has estimated the average monthly reduction of the GPO and WEP as $700 and $360 a month, meaning $8,400 and $4,320 so far. However, the exact next steps and their timing are uncertain. The SSA has released no projections of how long the recalculation process will take. The CBO projected that most affected beneficiaries will receive their increases during the current fiscal year, meaning that before October, but that was an estimate done only for forecasting the effect on the Social Security Fund and is not binding. So according to FedWeek, they believe the increase is going to come before October, although it definitely could be a little bit later. I don't expect it to be all the way until October because I think it will only take a few months for them to do these calculations. But really, with government, you never know. They are always very, very slow with everything. But I would expect by the summer, maybe June, July, or August at latest. But of course, we will have to wait and see. And as always, I will definitely keep you updated. Meanwhile, recently, Marjorie Taylor Greene absolutely went off on the Commissioner of Social Security, Martin O'Malley, on the timing of Social Security, just how long it takes them to get back to people. Apparently, they have a lot of people right now working from home instead of being in office. And because they're not in office, that makes it very, very difficult to schedule an appointment because we have so many of them actually working at home instead of coming to the office. And that's why apparently we have all these backlogs. And of course, we also got into an abortion debate unexpectedly with the Social Security Commissioner. I believe that's because he wants to be the head of the DNC as well. So let's go ahead and watch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. O'Malley, under your tenure, the Social Security Administration failed to deliver for the American people. On November 8th of last year, your agency announced the Appointment Focused Service, AFS, which directs field offices nationwide to require nearly all services be scheduled by appointment at local offices. While the intent was to reduce in-person wait times, my constituents cannot get through the phone lines to even schedule an in-person appointment. In just the last week, nearly a dozen constituents have contacted my office complaining that when they called to schedule an appointment, they were placed on hold for hours, then ultimately routed to the voicemail where no one answered and no one called them back, and this has been going on and on and on. This is absolutely unacceptable, and the American people deserve to know the root cause of why this policy was implemented to begin with. The short answer is your telework policies. The AFS was put in place to reduce wait times, yet the only reason the wait times were so outrageous to begin with was because there weren't enough staff in the office to reduce the in-person wait times because your staff is at home, not working for the American people. It is reported that your local offices are only staffed at 20 to 30% on any given day. It's kind of hard to have in-person appointments when people are not at the office. No wonder wait times were so long. And you, Commissioner O'Malley, just signed an agreement to make that permanent for the next 4 years of President Trump's administration, which is more failure, but that's your fault. And by the way, Commissioner, I reached out to you last August. This is the letter that I sent to you, dated August 1st, 2024, requesting an in-person meeting with you to discuss some of the serious issues that my constituents in Northwest Georgia are constantly having. But you never responded to me, Mr. O'Malley. I never got a phone call. I never got a letter back. And that's clearly, maybe you were enjoying the telework policies yourself instead of doing the actual job. Or possibly it's because you were too busy drinking with the union members that you were negotiating with instead of negotiating against on behalf of the American people. Now, Mr. O'Malley, right before you resigned as Social Security Administrator, you signed an agreement with the American Federation of Government Employees on November 27th, 2024. Now, remember, 2 weeks before that, as I mentioned, you were partying with AFGE members in Florida, but you weren't interested in calling me back or were even bothering to return a letter when I wanted to talk to you about very serious issues that my constituents were having. You see, as Republicans, we fully support making sure that every single American receives their benefits from Social Security. You Democrats like to lie about us. We are going to make sure that every single person that paid in gets every single penny that they deserve, that they paid in. It will come out and back to them. That's what's important to us, actually working for the American people. Now, Mr. O'Malley, I'd like to ask you another question. Since you're very interested in being DNC chair, you are, after all, a lifelong Democrat politician. I don't even know if you had a job in the real world, but you have been an elected politician for years. Mr. O'Malley, you're also a Catholic, are you not? You're also a Catholic, are you not?
I am.
Do you serve God or do you serve the Democrat Party?
I serve God.
Okay, then Mr.
Mr.
O'Malley.
Chairman, as a Roman
O'Malley,
Catholic, I take offense at the suggestion that somebody has to choose between God and their service to country as a Catholic.
Mr. O'Malley, will you be supporting the murder of the unborn up until the day of birth like your party does? As DNC chair, will you be supporting the murder of innocent unborn people? Is that in line with your faith in God and the Catholic Church?
I trust the judgment of women and doctors over the judgment of government.
No, do you trust God's judgment? Do you trust God that he loves and has created every single human being? Do you support the murder of unborn children? And are you going to uphold that evil practice that the Democrat Party wants to continue? You see, abortions, over 95% of them are unintended pregnancies. They use abortions as birth control. So are you going to continue the birth control practice of murdering the unborn children as chair of the DNC? Will that be a policy you'll be supporting?
I am pro-choice, and I trust the judgment of women and their doctors over the judgments of government.
Well, thank you for letting God know where you stand with the murder of the unborn.
I talk to God every day.
Yeah, well, you might want to talk to him a little bit more, Mr. O'Malley, because you're definitely in the wrong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
So leave your thoughts and comments below. Are you more on board with Marjorie Taylor Greene in this case, or are you more on the side of the Commissioner of Social Security, Martin O'Malley, who will be replaced by Trump? But with that said, leave your thoughts and comments below. Definitely would love to read them as always, but that's all we have for today's video, and I will see you in the next one.